Hey, it's Corona story time again. Today we're going to be reading The Ugly Duckling. It was a beautiful summer morning in the country. At the edge of a pond, a mother duck was sitting on her nest. She had been sitting a long time, waiting for her eggs to hatch. Finally, the eggs began to crack. Peep, peep, said the newly hatched ducklings. Quack, quack, said their mother. You are the sweetest little yellow ducklings I have ever seen. Are you all hatched? But the biggest egg hadn't hatched yet. The tired mother duck sat down again on the last egg and waited. When the egg finally cracked, out tumbled a clumsy gray one. He was bigger than the others and very ugly. Peep, peep, said the gray baby. The mother duck looked at him. He's awfully big for his age, she said, and he looks different than all my other ducklings. I wonder if he can swim. The next day, the sun shone brightly. The mother duck led all of her ducklings down to the pond. Quack, quack, she told them. One after the other, the eager little ducklings hopped into the blue water. They bobbed and floated like little corks. They already knew how to paddle their legs and swim. All of the new ducklings swam very nicely, even the ugly one. The mother duck was pleased. She decided to take her ducklings to the farmyard to meet the other ducks. Quack, quack, she said, follow me. Keep your legs apart and waddle this way. And be sure to bow your heads and say, quack. The little ducklings did as their mother did. But the other ducks in the barnyard gathered around them and said, look how ugly the gray one is. One of them even tried to bite the ugly duckling on the neck. Leave him alone, cried the mother duck. But the poor duckling was chased around the barnyard and mistreated by everyone, even his own brothers and sisters. How sad the ugly little duckling was. Every day, the hens and the other ducks pushed him and made fun of him. At last, the ugly duckling had enough and ran away. He finally came to a swamp where the wild geese lived. The tired little duckling stayed all night in the swamp. In the morning, the wild geese found him. You don't look like we do, the geese said to him, but that's all right. You can stay here with us. Just then, a hunter's dog walked by and the geese flew off in alarm. The scared duckling stayed as still as he could for a very long time. When he was sure that the dog was gone, the little duckling set off across the meadows. It was dark when he came to a crooked little hut. The door was open just a crack, and in went the little duckling. An old woman lived in the hut with her cat and her hen. She felt sorry for the duckling and let him stay. The little duckling couldn't purr or lay eggs, so the cat and the hen picked on him day and night. This made the duckling miss the pond and bobbing up and down in the water, so he finally left the crooked little hut. The duckling found a lake where he could dive to the bottom and pop back up again to float in the water. The wild ducks ignored him because he was so ugly. Autumn came, and with it clouds and cold winds. One evening, just at sunset, a flock of beautiful big birds with powerful wings flew overhead. Their feathers were shining white, and they had long, graceful necks. The sight of these swans, for that is what they were, made the ugly duckling wish that he could be so beautiful. The ugly duckling felt a strong bond with the swans and was sad. The weather got colder and colder. It got so cold that one morning the duckling was stuck in the ice on the lake. It was fortunate for him that a passing farmer freed him from the ice. The farmer put the duckling under his arm and carried him home. The farmer's naughty children were excited and wanted to play with the duckling. The duckling thought that they were going to hurt him, and in his fright ran right into a milk pail. Then he flapped into a bowl of butter and flopped into a barrel of flour. He made quite a mess. The farmer's wife chased the ugly duckling right out of the house. The children ran after the ugly duckling, trying to catch him. The duckling found a hiding place under some bushes. As the snow fell around him, he lay still until the children were indoors. The ugly duckling had a bad winter. Food was hard to find, and the frosty winds howled. But when spring finally arrived with the warm sun shining and the robin song in the air, the ugly duckling had survived. Filled with the joy and happiness of spring, the duckling spread his wings to fly. My, how strong and powerful his wings were! The duckling flew over green gardens and orchards. Then he saw 3 swans floating on a lake, and he felt a bond with them. The ugly duckling wanted to be near the beautiful swans, even if they might be cruel. He landed on the water and swam toward them. When the 3 swans saw the duckling, they went to meet him. As they drew near, the ugly duckling bowed his head to the water, expecting to be treated badly. Upon looking down, he saw that there was another beautiful swan. It was his own reflection. He was no longer a clumsy, ugly bird. He was a swan. The other swans made a circle around him and stroked him with their beaks. All that the young swan had gone through made him truly appreciate his newfound happiness, and he saw the beauty of everything surrounding him. He ruffled his feathers and thought aloud, "I never dreamed of such happiness when I was an ugly duckling." That's all for today. Take care.